Everyday Essentials.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's going on? How are you?
Hey, somebody said we're excited to see the live. Let's go, Jazzy. That's what's up. You had Courtney checking in from Alabama. She said, I can't wait. You know, we have BMs today checking in. That's amazing.
Hi, Byron.
The team is coming in, man. Listen, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Right. It's a new venue on tonight because I'm out and about working, couldn't make it home. So if y'all see the setting is a little different, we got our president in the back right there.
I see it.
Our forever president. But listen, man, I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
No, because I've seen your growth, and it's like when I had Lee on the show, right? Mm-hmm. It was the same vibe. I was like, you know, I've seen you guys' journey, you know what I mean? And how
you're there at the beginning.
And it's always amazing when you really see somebody manifesting. You dig what I'm saying? So if you don't mind, if you can, I was telling a little bit about what you do, but if you can share in your own words what you do, who you are, your business, and everything.
Absolutely. Well, hey, everybody. I am Jasmine or Jazzy. Jasmine, whatever. And I am the owner and founder of J Essentials. So J Essentials is an essential everyday product line or product brand. So right now the products that we have are liquid hand soaps and hand sanitizers, eventually definitely going to expand into a lot of different aspects and areas. But yeah, just really, really focused on just those everyday essentials that you use every single day, providing that and pouring back into the community while I'm doing it.
Now somebody said that's my favorite black owned. Okay.
Hey.
How you say that? FNDTNK or something like that? However you say it. Foundation care. All right. We probably gotta get them on the show or something, you know.
Yes, amazing. But they're actually a part of my story too. We'll get into that. But foundation care played a part too. Yeah.
Now, it's amazing when I remember talking to you on the phone and you said, you know, I got this business going on. I said, wait a minute now. I said, talk to me about this. Like, what made you say, you know what? I'm going to business for myself.
Yes, absolutely. So last year, as everybody knows, 2020 was crazy. There was a lot going on. People, toilet paper running off of shelves, hard to find this, hard to find that, bunch of stuff, right? So one thing that's always been super, super important to me and that I love that my parents really instilled in me is supporting Black-owned businesses whenever you can. Yeah. You know, and when the whole pandemic and everything happened, it was really, really important to me to, you know, really invest in small businesses and you know, buy their products and all of that good stuff. And honestly, I would say probably about 80% of the products that I use like every single day or on an everyday basis are already Black owned. Everything from like my toothbrush to my toilet paper to with foundation care, the oil I put in my hair, pretty much everything, right? But when the pandemic and everything happened, I was like, okay, what's something that I use often that I can support a Black-owned brand of that I'm not currently? And the one thing that really stuck out to me was just liquid hand soap. So from there, you know, I went to asking family and friends, you know, hey, do you guys know anybody, you know, who makes liquid hand soap? Because there's a lot of companies out there that make, you know, like bar soaps, face soaps, things like that, but nobody really knew of any liquid hand soaps and things like that. So I kind of went on my research journey from there. And there definitely are different Black-owned liquid hand soap businesses. So it's not that I'm the first or anything like that. But honestly, once I started kind of testing things out and really getting into it and trying it, I couldn't find something that I was really in love with. Always just felt like something was missing. Like either the smell wasn't right, or I didn't like the texture, or it was just something that was always off. And I honestly was like, okay, well, if I can't find something that I love or that I'm in love with, I'll just do it myself. So that's kind of how the whole thought process in the beginning. And then from there, again, speaking of foundation care, so Paige is the owner of Foundation Care, my best friend.
What's up, Paige? Paige?
Yeah, hey, Paige.
You gotta come on the show.
Yes, you gotta get her on here. And her brand's amazing. She has, you know, things for your hair, for your body, for your skin. So I just went to her honestly and was like, look, I have this idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, if it makes sense, if I could even do this. Like, does it sound like something you think would work? And she literally was like, no, you're absolutely doing this. this absolutely could work. Like, here's books to read to get you started. Here's, you know, places to get your bottles. Here's my, you know, the chemist that helped me with my formula. Hit him up and tell him what you're looking for. Just really laid out a bunch of things to really kind of jumpstart me and get me to that point. Yeah. So I always love to put that part in the story because it's just so, friendship is so important to me, and Black businesses are so important to me. And, you know, it's just important that we can lift each other. And again, when you get to a certain point, you can reach behind you and pull one up. And that's exactly what my friend did. So grateful.
Listen, first of all, I want to, because, you know, I like to do shouts out. I see Tony Black, Black man checking in.
Hey, Tony.
Sterling, I see you checking in. Abstract Genius.
Hey, Gordon. I see Gordon here. Hey, Richard.
Do me a favor, man. Share this live with all of your friends right now. Go ahead. Let's put this on blast. I always tell people, if you can't tweet about it, post about it, show up, and some way, shape, or form, support. So you on this live right now, watching this amazing young Black woman doing amazing stuff, starting her own business. You know what I'm saying? One way you can support her tonight is share this live session. I pinned the website is on there, jessentialshop.com.
Yes, thank you.
That's the website. Don't do that. Don't act like, oh, Lysious, where's the website? I can't find it. It's right there. I pinned it right there.
You got it.
Nah, but see, one of the things that you said that stood out for me, man, like, and people, let us know where you're checking in from. Courtney says she's checking in from Alabama. What's up, Courtney? That's amazing.
Alabama? Hey.
One thing that you said that's really amazing, you know, and Tony, what's up, Tony? Tony Blackman was on the show like 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Tony.
You kind of same thing that, you know, just this stepping forward and creating something that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of times, all right, okay, Paige said checking in from Cali. That's what's up. Yo, I need to come to Cali again. I was there probably before the end of the year or next year or something. But the point I was trying to make is how important it is for us to go out and to create our own stuff. Because Sterling said, oh, love, Jazz, that's what's up. What's up, Collins? Prince Collins checking in. I see you checking in. Where you checking in from, brother? How you been? But I think a lot of times we sit around and wait for people to create stuff for us. And when you told me that, that kind of jumped out to me because it's so many ways we can apply that. Not sitting around. If you see something you want to create, going out and doing it. Now, let me ask you this. I've been asking a lot of people this question because the stuff that you make, just as the name says, J Essentials. These are essential products.
Essential.
Now, these are products that everybody and their mama got, you know, everybody else is doing. So was that like a thought in your head, like a discouraging feeling? Like, you know, I mean, everybody got hand soap and all of this stuff. Did you ever think that before you stepped out?
Honestly, no. And okay. I really give kudos for my mom and to my parents for that. Because I think I mentioned this maybe one other time, but when I was young, something that my mom just always told me, just always was kind of like her motto for me, learning things. And, you know, just kind of growing up as a kid was always, if other kids can do it, so can you. And it's so simple and so basic. And like I said, she's been saying that since I was about 4 or 5 years old. But honestly, just growing up and continuously like hearing that and having my parents pour into me and just honestly saying like, Jazz, anything that you think of, you can do. If you see somebody else out there and they're doing it, there's no reason why you can't do it. You know, just as good, if not better than them. If they're, you know, whether that's schoolwork or I played sports growing up or college or, you know, in adulthood. And that's just always been kind of like my life motto and mantra is, you know, if I do see something and I think that I can do it just as well, you know, it's just that attitude of, I mean, so-and-so is doing it, so can I. And honestly, too, coming from Howard, we breed entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. So just in, you know, HU16 alone, there's so many entrepreneurs and successful businesses. And I think for me, that was also inspiration as well. Because, you know, when you see your peers and your friends around you doing it and, you know, trying to figure it out and, like you said, manifesting it into, you know, reality, it's like, okay, if they can do it, so can I. I can do it too. So, and honestly, the soap business in general, or just any business, it may seem like there's a lot of folks in it and there's not room, but there's room for everybody. There's enough money in the world for everybody to have a piece. It's just really kind of carving your space out and owning your space in it and, you know, just running with it from there.
2 words, carving your space, owning your space. Y'all, them the two words on this week. When I post this, it's gonna be carving your space and owning your space. That's amazing. I don't know if you're seeing, but it's a lot of love pouring in right now. Somebody said, okay, HU16. Tony said HU facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody said, go ahead, black woman. Go ahead, best friend.
Thank you. I love it.
Hey, but let me ask you this. Now, I remember when you told me I said, but wait a minute now, Jazz. Like, I mean, you haven't done this before. Like, I mean, who did you call? Who put the stuff together, the formula, all of those stuff? Like, how did you, the chemicals and how did you even go about that? Was that something that was kind of daunting for you, like to even say, I'm not familiar with like chemicals or ingredients and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Was that something that was encouraging for you? And how did you go about even setting that up to make it happen?
Yeah, honestly, no, I don't think especially in the beginning when I was really kind of like getting the foundation work done, like you said, whether it's the, I'm sorry, shout out to Richard. Richard just placed an order. So just put that up there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey,
is
that Sterling?
Yeah, that's Richard. Yeah.
All right, man. I see you. I appreciate you. Supporting.
Yeah. Right. But when I first started, I was just so inspired and just so motivated to do it. I think I took everything kind of head on. Like it was encouraging just because it's like, okay, I have this idea. And then I talked to my best friend about it and she's like, okay, this is possible. And then honestly, I prayed about it and God was like, yes, this is what we're going to do. Like, to be really truthful with you, I already have a vision of what J Essentials is going to be and what it's going to look like and just the magnitude of what it's going to be. It's just really up to me to put the work in to make that happen. But in the beginning, it was just, I was so encouraged with everything. So even when it came down to things like formulas, which are very important because again, you're dealing with people's skin and, people have sensitivities and allergies and things like that. So I really had to do a lot of research, honestly. It's not something that just kind of like one day I said I wanted to do it and the next day it was here. It was months and months and months, like from the point where I wanted to do it to when it actually launched was probably a full year, maybe even a little bit more than a year. And within that year, just really doing my research on, what ingredients are good, what I wanted to have in it, what I wanted it to feel like and things like that. And then from that point, really going to a chemist, I went to he specializes actually in like natural cosmetics and things like that. And really told him what I was looking for, what I wanted, again, to feel like, to smell like, all of those things. And then, had his expertise. Because again, I'm not a chemist. I needed that, that expertise to make sure everything was done right and legit. And then, from getting that formula, lots and lots of testing and if I liked certain things, if I didn't like certain things, I sent some bottles to my family to test and just said, give me your honest opinion. Like, don't fluff it up and just say, oh, I'm so proud, I love it. So no, if it's not right, tell me it's not right, you know? And it just kind of went from there. I mean, honestly, I'm still, again, I'll be coming out with some new products going into next year. So even with that, I'm just always testing and trying new things. But to me, that's the fun part. So it was never daunting or discouraging.
So between the testing and when you went live, how long did that take?
About a year. So I say it was really on my spirit to do it and research and get into it like June of 2020. And J Essentials launched June 10th, 2021. So a few months ago, but it was literally a year.
Now, let's get a little into like, the products that you have. You understand? Because first of all, let's talk about the products that we already have right now as we speak that we can order online, number one. And then number two, I know you got some new stuff coming out.
Yes, come
on. So if you could touch on those 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first product ever, my baby product, is of course the liquid hand soap. Okay. And right now it comes in 5 different scents. So I have 3 kind of staple scents, or foundation scents, I guess you could call them, which is the mango starfruit, which is like a nice kind of tropical, kind of fruity scent. Also have agave lime, which is more like a citrusy, really clean smell. And then the newest one of the like foundation scents is Tahitian gardenia, which is just this amazing, like delicate floral scent. Just smells, it's probably my favorite out of all 3 of those scents. And then just last week, I actually have them here can show them off a little bit. Have my fall scents that just dropped that I'm super excited about. This one here is actually the cinnamon apple. So it's kind of like a nice, think of like kind of baked apples just sprinkled with cinnamon on the top, like a nice holiday. You're going over your family's house and, you know, your mom and them cook some pies and some cobblers and things. That's literally what this smells like. And then this one here is actually our spiced latte. So it's basically like, again, a nice kind of spicy apple, pumpkin, cinnamony, I guess that's the word, smell. So those are all of the scents that I have right now. These are the new babies. These are limited editions. So after the end of this year, those will go away for a little bit. And then speaking of what's to, oh, go ahead.
So essentially, y'all, not to cut you off, but she says it's limited. What she's saying, you need to go on jessentials.com and place your order ahead of time. They can pre-order. They could do that.
Well, they're out right now, so they can get them right now.
Hey,
right here, right now.
Okay, see, don't, you know what I'm saying? You snooze, you lose. Get it now.
Get it now.
What else you got coming out?
Yeah, so I also have, or what's out right now is also the hand sanitizers. So the hand sanitizers match all of the scents that I mentioned before. So again, these are the new little babies here. This is the Spice Latte hand sanitizer and apple cinnamon sanitizer as well. Again, just kind of with everything with just COVID and things opening back up, I personally always have hand sanitizer on me. I leave it in my car. I'll take it in my bag, my backpack. And it's nice, too, because they're small enough, you know, as people start to travel. If they're traveling again or visiting family, you can throw it in your bag. You can take it on the plane. It's just always good to have hand sanitizer on you. So that's also in there, too.
You know, I'm over here smiling, man. I'm just so proud of you, man. Like, I am so, because a lot of times, you know, you see people doing stuff from a distance, but it's always a great feeling when you see someone that you know. And you know what I'm saying? And you witness the growth and just the process of evolving and becoming this businesswoman, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to support your own. That's why I be trying to tell people, man, y'all want to go to Walmart and buy somebody else's product, but you got somebody right here that's making the same exact product, even better and even for a great price. Come on now, what are we doing?
I love it. I tell people all the time, honestly, maybe I'm not supposed to say this out loud, but I'm gonna claim it. I'm trying to say Bath and Body Works out of business. That's what I'm. If you love Bath and Body Works, and you know, and kind of think, and honestly, going into like the vision of what I'm saying, just for full transparency, that's what I'm saying. Like full collections of soaps, of sanitizers, maybe candles are in there, maybe you know, lotions are in there, hand soaps, you know, things like that. But just that full product line of, again, just those essential body products that you're gonna have to use anyway, so might as well, you know, give your girl a chance.
Sure, for sure. Now let me ask you this. It was something you said about, you know, the connection between your business and HBCUs and what the plan that you have with that, because I think that's really important, how you plan on giving back with your business. If you could speak on that.
Absolutely. So that's something that I'm also, you know, very, very passionate about. And once I really got the idea in my head to, you know, go ahead and move forward with the business, that's something that I knew eventually down the line I'd want to do. So my plan, to be completely honest, I don't know if it's perfectly scoped out. I have kind of like idea of what I want to do. But it's definitely giving back to HBCUs. As you know, I love all HBCUs, love Howard, of course. But it's just something that's so near and dear to my heart. I would love to, you know, really start a scholarship or some type of way, you know, give money back to specific schools. And one thing that I would love to do too is to specifically focus on those HBCUs that are smaller, that might have, you know, less than a couple thousand students in attendance. And get back to those schools too, because I think it's funny, as Howard students, we already know, people always, you hear often, oh, it's always Howard, Morehouse, Spelman, you always hear this, always hear that. And even though, you know, I have my thoughts on that too, it is just as important that, you know, the smaller, lesser known schools and HBCUs are supported and, you know, do have opportunities and funds. And I would just love to be able to be a part of that in some type of way and to do that through my business. So,
you know, let's talk a little bit. That's amazing. Matter of fact, and I think it's something that we always have to keep in mind, something that needs to be emphasized, you know, however we can in whatever capacity. You know, I always think about giving back, and giving back doesn't mean you got to give $20,000 or whatever the case might be. It could be $100 every month. You know, it could be whatever the case might be. I had, you know, HBCU Howard organization reach out about donations during the season with kids protesting and everything. And I gave him some money, and I told him, I said, hey, listen, we have a lot going on. Touch base every month, you know, whatever it is that you guys need. And that's what I want people to realize. It doesn't mean that you have to give. Don't wait till like you're making however much, you know, whatever amount you think of to give back. You can give back. Start with what you have, as little as you have, $50 every month, whatever you can. Because if we don't do that, like it's not gonna be any HBCUs or schools for us to look back to and say, I went there. These schools are going to be gone. And we've seen it happen. There's been HBCUs, you know, that just disappeared for whatever reason. So we have to protect that. Now, let's talk about challenges, because I think, you know, it's important for people to realize that.
Let's talk about it. Let's be real honest. Let's be real honest.
You know, like being in business is not easy. And I want you to talk about some of the challenges that you're facing, how you're overcoming those challenges right now. For anyone who is thinking of, you know, starting a business, whatever business it is, if you could share with us some of the challenges you've had so far and how you've been able to overcome those challenges.
Yeah, I think for me personally, one of the biggest challenge right now is time. Because I'm also in graduate school right now. I graduate in a couple weeks, so I'm almost done. But it's hard. And your business, you know, it does take a lot of time and effort, energy to put into it. And I think even, again, just being really honest, between, you know, being in school and having J Essentials and then also just working, you know, my regular 9-to-5 job, you know, things start to pile up very quickly and, you know, stress levels start to come. And I think in those moments, it's most important to remember, like, just remember why you're doing what you're doing and why it was originally so important to you. Right. Because again, just being really honest, sometimes it's like, my goodness, I got to do this and I got to do that. And I got to post this and I got to, you know, and it's so easy to get swept up into things and just be like, you know what, I just want to take a nap. And anybody who knows me knows I love taking a good nap. But some of the times it's like, you know, in those moments, just remembering, okay, I remember that I had a vision for this and I remember I prayed for this. And I prayed to be able to be in grad school and to be able to have this business. And I prayed for this exact moment that I'm in right now, which means I can get through this moment. Like, you know, it's hard and it's stressful, but if I can just remember what it is I want to do, if I can just prioritize what I need to get done. Because honestly, sometimes I take it day by day, sometimes hour by hour of just, okay, before 5 o'clock, what can I get done and realistically get done? And honestly, if those things don't get done, not to beat myself up about it, but to give myself grace and to realize, you know, I'm a human, things happen. We put it on the list for the next day and we keep on moving, you know, so just don't get discouraged, because I think those moments will absolutely come where it just seems like everything is on you at one time. But it just, you know, just try to remember why you're doing what you're doing, that, you know, at one point you prayed or you asked for, you believed that you'd be in this moment and that you're in it. And just to move forward from there, that you got it. You got it.
Talk to us about, because, you know, along the way, you pick up a lot of lessons, you know, just in starting something. Whenever, you know, it's easy. A lot of people talk, you know, I like to get with people who are doing, you know, anybody can talk, you know what I'm saying? But when you're really out there doing it, it's a different kind of feel. And I want you to speak to the lessons that you've learned thus far, you know, and you just starting your own business, that you can share with somebody, you know, who might be thinking of doing the same thing. So this is something, that pointers that I can give you that's going to help you along the way.
I would definitely say one thing, at least that I did that helped me, was, again, I kind of had that vision of what I wanted to look like and what I wanted to be, right? So having that, and honestly, just writing down everything. I have some notebooks in my room right now that say exactly how I want J Essentials to look, what I want it to be, how many employees I want to have, honestly, you know, things like that. And then from there, breaking it down even further to say, okay, how can I get to that point? Like, that's the overall goal. What in a course of a year needs to be done to help me get in a better position to get to that goal? And then from there, write those things down and just, and, you know, really take your time with it too. You know, spend some time, even if you know, walk away from it for a little bit and come back. And then from there, break that down even further. Okay, in this month, before the end of this month, what can I do, or what do I need to do to make sure I can get to that next point? You know, and just kind of like breaking it down. So you're looking at it holistically. Sometimes it's like, whoo, like, this is great. I know I want this. I know I can get there, but how am I supposed to do it?
How am I supposed to get, okay, so have a vision, write it down, okay? Got it?
Oh, absolutely. Write down. I do that just in my personal life. with things that I want to happen, or things that, you know, I think I want, or things that make sense, or, you know, if there's a decision that I need to make just in my personal life, I write everything down. Because it also, when I write things down, it brings me a sense of clarity too. Because I think, at least again, with me personally, I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things that just sound great, and I want to do this and I want to do that, and that's great. But when I write it down, it just gives me kind of like peace and just me time to really sit on the idea, to not just really, you know, think that, oh, it's so great and, you know, rainbows and butterflies, but really think, okay, how can I make this happen? What do I need to do to put myself in a position for this to happen? Or should this, honestly, should this even happen? I'm a big believer in just old school pros and cons list. Yeah. Because sometimes when you do that and you just get it on paper, things come to you. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, let me write that down too. Or, oh, okay, this happens and maybe this, you know. So just, I'm very just basic, by the books, as far as like writing things down and breaking it down for you.
Now, let me ask you this, because you know, you touching something I think is key. Do you ever feel like something is like, have you ever thought about something you're like, I can't do that, or that's not gonna happen, or has that ever crossed your mind? Because sometimes people say, you know, it may sound good in your head, but in reality, it's like, nah, that's not even, that can't. Have you ever been in that space where you felt like you thought about something, you were excited about it, but then it was like, when it came down to execution, somebody told you, nah, that's, you know, or do you ever feel like that sometimes?
Oh yeah, I think, and I think that's the beautiful part of at least for me, for writing it down, because that's when the moments come. I don't know if I've had moments where it was completely like, no, that's wild, that could never happen, because I'm a big believer in never say never. Now, sometimes time-wise, and time kind of like, okay, this is not realistic. How can I, you know, what needs to, maybe that's the goal, but maybe that's not going to happen in 30 days. That's not going to happen in a year. Maybe that can happen over 5 years, and I can kind of break that down. But really, realistically, Jazz, you know, that's not about to happen in a month or whatever. And I think it's important with those visions too, that, you know, along with taking the steps to get there to make them happen, also being realistic with yourself in how you can make them happen. You know, again, with my own example, being in school and having a full-time job, that honestly does, you know, take some time away from J Essentials too. So I have to be realistic with myself and say, okay, over this next week, what can I get done? There's things that I want to get done that would look great if they got done, but what realistically do I have time and like the sanity to get done this week? And, you know, again, if that doesn't necessarily match up, not beating myself up about it, and just having grace and say, you know, I'm a human, I'm a person, and that's okay. We're going to keep going each day by day.
The people on this live are really funny, man.
I can't see. I don't know what happened to the comments.
Somebody says she do love naps. Is that your sister? Who is that? And then somebody says, I wish I could do naps. These people are funny, bro. Like,
man, I love a good
let me ask you this though. Somebody says she does love naps though.
I sleep, okay? Listen, that whole, you know, sleep when I die, grind. No, I'm tired. I'm resting. I'll be back in 30 minutes.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. How do you, because I think this is something everyone deals with, whether it's in business and life, whatever you do. Negative self-talk, like when these words and these doubts and they come, because I know everyone has a different, you know, method and how they deal with it. How do you deal with when those, you know, thoughts of negativity, how do you deal with them? How do you, you know, deal with those types when they come in your head? How do you deal with it?
I think the biggest, it's kind of, again, I like steps. So for me, it's broken down in steps, because those thoughts absolutely do come. And again, just having so many things on my plate at one time, it's kind of like a, you know, they come, just to be honest with you. I think in those moments, catching myself when I do think those things and just think, okay, that's honestly, sometimes I tell myself, like, that's an intrusive thought. That's thinking this because maybe you're stressed, or maybe there's a lot on your list, or maybe, you know, you didn't kind of figuring out, okay, why am I feeling this way? Because at least for me, when that happens, it's like something triggers that to make that happen. So maybe I'm just really overwhelmed, or I'm just really stressed, or maybe I didn't get anything done on my list that was on my list. You know, so one, just kind of acknowledging that, okay, this is a thought. This is why I'm thinking that, or what might have, you know, made me think that, and just know, like, again, you know who you are, and you know, again, just honestly going back to prayer and, you know, my faith and being like, at the end of the day, even, you know, at the end of the day, God got you.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe or whatever happens, you're going to be okay. Give yourself grace to get through, you know, because again, those periods are going to come and they're not fun and they're not the best of times. But I think it's important that you allow yourself to feel when it does happen and not just, you know, pretend that you're not feeling those things. Allow yourself to feel in whatever way is best for you, whether that's just listening to music, whether that's just kind of, you know, staying offline for a while or whatever that looks like. But just knowing, okay, I'm in this place, but I'm not staying in this place. You know, I'm in this place because, you know, I'm allowing myself to feel, I'm allowing myself to get it out. But at the end of the day, I got to keep pushing. I got to keep going because, again, I have that vision and God's already told me, you know, what he has in store for me. I just got to do the work. So if God believes that I can do this and accomplish these things,
come on, word,
me with this vision to make these things happen, how can I doubt myself?
Come on, message.
I mean, that it's almost like insulting to God. It's like, you know what,
come
God,
on,
you're right.
Hey.
let me pick it back up. You're right. I had a moment.
Right.
Thank you for letting me have my moment. But now let's keep going, you know, because at the end of the day, you got to keep, there's work to be done. So,
you know, I got 2 more questions before I let you go on tonight.
No, absolutely.
Tony,
I'm having fun.
Tony, you know I'll be excited when I have guests because y'all be dropping some gems, man. You know, I'll be taking notes and everything. Yeah. But let's talk about 2 questions before I let you go on tonight because we can be on here forever. You know, forever. Me and Jazz conversation be hour-long conversation.
Hours.
Hey, now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I was posting something about, you know, it's so easy. And I know I deal with this every single day, if not every minute. Like, it's not like I'm not grateful. It's just that I always feel like, man, I could be over there. I could be doing this. I could be on that level. And sometimes it could lead to you not being appreciative of what you have, not being grateful for what you have. Now, when it comes to business, a lot of times it's very easy for you to slip into that place where you're like, oh man, you know, like so-and-so is on that level and so-and-so is doing this. And a lot of times I always tell people that, you know, all the people who are over there, they started somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So do you ever have those type of feelings where you're like, man, you know, maybe you, especially with social media, maybe you on social media, you see somebody else with a hand soap, a similar product, and you're like, man, how come they got 20,000 followers? How come they got this? Do you ever feel it? How do you navigate that? Because I know it's a real thing, especially with us and social media and starting a business, you know?
On the business side, I don't think I've had those moments yet.
Okay.
Not to say that I couldn't or that it wouldn't happen, because I think that's a natural, you know, just kind of human thing when you're so exposed to so many, you know, just people being online. But I honestly try to come from a place of like, just understanding that my story is my story, my personal story, my business, my, you know, when I get my degree, all of that, that's mine. And, you know, what someone else is doing or their success or the rate of success or what it looks like, if we want to be really honest, on social media, you know, that's theirs. And instead of, you know, kind of looking at that and then, you know, critiquing myself or judging myself for it, I'm going to applaud that person. And I'm going to be, you know, say, y'all are doing a great job. And saying, you know, because that's their journey. And I think, you know, you never really know what people are going through or what it took for them to get to that place, especially when it comes to business, you know, because most businesses, we're being honest, they post the pretty parts, the nice part and the nice labels and the, you know, going to the post office, dropping orders, but they're not necessarily posting. Right. When you're up at 3 a.m. and you got to, you know, tweak your formula because something happened. Or because, you know, your labels, the printer messed up your labels and now you got to spend so much money to fix it. You know, you don't see those parts.
You don't see that.
Yeah, I just, especially when it comes to business, try to move, you know, with really being appreciative when I see other people succeed and in their success, because it's almost a reminder that like mine is coming. I might not have it right now or I might not whatever, but it's like, I see what they're doing and I see their successes and how great and bit, like, I'm happy for that person that they're there because, you know, and especially when it's people like around you and in your team, because I honestly and truly believe it's like when you surround yourself with like successful people, like God's just going down the line. He's going to bless the whole team, you know? So it's like,
when
my friend is successes,
that's another word.
I mean, but it's so true. Like that just makes me want to clap and, you know, give that person praise that much more because I know mine is coming. So it's like the whole team is winning.
Hey, did y'all hear that? No, wait a minute. I think they missed it. They missed it. She said, God is going down the line.
One by one.
He's going to bless everybody. Now, instead of you being somewhere talking about somebody else, you need to get in line is what you need to do. Come on now.
It's like, if it's not my turn, I know my turn's coming. So let me clap for my sister here. Let me clap for my brother there because, like I said, the whole family's about to be blessed.
And I think that's key, too, because I saw something, and you touched on that, too, how a lot of times people let jealousy keep them from learning from people they're supposed to be learning from. Like, a lot of people are jealous of somebody that, you know, this person is doing this thing right. Hey, put your ego aside.
Yeah.
Reach out. Hey, how do you, what's going on and all that stuff. And I think that's the point that you touched on that. I know I said I have 2 more questions. It's like another question.
Take your time. Take your time.
Hey, I told y'all we could be on this thing all night, but I try to keep it short. But I wanted to ask you though, because I think this is important. How do you personally, because I remember telling Jazz, I said, you know, I don't understand how you stay so calm and so peaceful, because I can't. I be freaking out over like little stuff, like what is going on over there, like. Yeah. But I remember one time at the radio station in Howard, and you were like, it's like, I don't know what happened. The speakers wasn't working for the game or something like that, and everybody was freaking out. Like the game is in 20 minutes. Yeah. And Jazz was like, everybody calm down. I said, is this chick high? Like, what is going on? Like,
I still can't believe
like how are you so calm in this situation right now? But I want you to speak to, because I think for me, every time I talk to you, it's something I wish I have, is that ability to stay calm, and just because I'm not, you know, I'm Aries, I'm a Taurus, I'm on the cusp as well, you know, the fire and the earth and all of those things, those elements. But I see that you've managed to always stay so calm and collected. And I want you to close with us on tonight. You know, how do you stay so calm, stay in the pocket, stay grounded, and how do you maintain your peace? You know?
Good one.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the calm or the calmness, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that's just a personality trait or that's just something in me. Honestly, because I've had a lot of people say that. It's always, how are you so calm? How are you always so happy? How are you all, you know, and I just been this way my whole life, honestly. But I think one thing that I always have in the back of my mind is that, like, at the end of the day, it's always going to work out. It's always going to work out just as well. Even if it doesn't work out to what I thought it might work out to, or what we might want it to, you know, look like, it's going to work out exactly as it should. And even in moments when, you know, things are stressful and it's like things are going crazy and, you know, whatever, it's like just remembering, okay, things are going to work out exactly as they should, even if I have to adjust, even if I have to pivot, even if I have to find plan B, C, D, E, F, G all the way down the line. Yeah. It's going to work out. Even if it doesn't work out how I want it to work out, it is going to work out. Even when things are chaotic, something's going to, you know, going to break and basically work out. And I mean, to be really honest, a lot of things just that I go through personally, like, it always works out. Yeah. And again, it doesn't work out how Jasmine wants it to work out. Because sometimes I'll be like, man, why couldn't this just do? It would be so much easier and less stressful if this was just happen or this just happened, or, you know. But then, you know, as I go through those situations and, you know, really look back on it, it's like, oh, that's why that had to happen. Yeah. That had to go, you know, differently so this could happen. And God had to shift this so then I could open a door for this to happen. So. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not always according to plan, and, you know, speakers go out and things like that. But at the end of the day,
I see Winston. Yeah, look at our boy Winston. Just check. What's up, Winston? Winston said, hey, y'all.
Yeah. I can't see the comments, so I can't see anybody.
Now, but on tonight, for everybody listening right now, she's about to share with us, how does she maintain her peace? You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's one thing everybody has been saying lately, setting boundaries, maintaining your peace, and all of those things. Personally, how do you do that? How do you maintain your peace? How do you make sure that, you know, whether it's a person or a situation, whatever the case might be, how do you go about maintaining your own peace?
Yeah, I think for me, and this might be a cliche answer, but really just almost like understanding and paying attention and putting the most emphasis in what makes me feel good. What makes me feel good, what makes me feel the most like myself.
Okay.
Again, whether that's in business, in relationships, in friendships, whatever, it's like anything that makes me be like, this is a lot of stress, or this is bring a lot of chaos, or this is just uncomfortable. It's like, I really look at those situations like, okay, one, is this a situation I need to be in?
Yeah.
Or can this situation adjust? Or, you know, just kind of things like that. Anything that doesn't bring me like calmness, as we were speaking about, or just peace, or me just feeling like the best version of myself is not for me. It's not for me. It's not worth it. And honestly, I just don't have time for it because there's just so many things going on.
Yeah.
And just, you know, me allowing myself to give time to those things that do like bring those moments of peace or clarity or calmness or whatever. And then honestly, another really, really big one is time management. Like, again, I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. And not even time management as far as like, okay, I have to do this task from this time, and study from this time, this, even if it's just like, okay, for this hour, like I was joking a little bit about taking naps, but honestly, that's really true because for me, I'm my best self when I'm like well rested, when my head is clear, and, you know, I just have that moment to like reset. And I know that's for me. That might not work for everybody, or everybody might not have time to do that. But for me, that's one thing that I do for me. That's like, okay, I know doing this is going to bring out the best version of myself. So I'm going to make time for it. I'm going to fit it in or make it work. So I would just say for someone else, just make sure that you're making pockets of time for yourself, because life gets so crazy and, you know, everybody's so busy and things going on. Even honestly, if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, where it's like, I know for these next 5 minutes, it's all about me. I'm going to listen to my favorite song, or I'm going to read my favorite whatever, or I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to, you know, just exist. Just have 5 minutes for myself.
That too.
So that can really make a difference.
Existing. That's something. Now, I know this is the last one, you know, the last one, because I feel like you're in the spirit tonight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you got a word for the people on tonight. So, you know, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to please, you know, before she goes in tonight, you know, she's going to share with us a word. You know, if you can leave us with something, whatever it is that you can leave us with on tonight, you know, it could be on anything, business, life, just something for us to go home with, you know, tonight, a word that, you know, that's in your spirit that you can share with us.
Yeah, I would definitely say give yourself grace. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that, you know, seems like it's taking up a lot of time, or that you're stressed about or you're unsure about, give yourself grace, because right now, just the climate of everything going on in the world, and, you know, again, people are busy, people are going through some really, you know, real life things. And, you know, we're all, at the end of the day, we're doing the best that we can. We're doing the best that we can with what we have. And even if, you know, you think you should be somewhere else that maybe you're not, or you think you should be farther along, or again, you're unsure about something, give yourself grace. You know, you deserve that. You deserve to say, I'm human. You know, these things take time, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because honestly, there's so much in the world, you know, to just be against you, or to talk about you, or to be haters, you know, on you. Don't be a hater to yourself, you know.
Come on,
yourself.
Don't be a hater to yourself.
There's so many people already out there that are just itch to hate. You know, don't do that to yourself, because you just deserve that. You deserve that grace and that love from yourself to yourself.
You know, this is what I'm taking. Say God is, you know, God is coming down the line. You just gotta get in line.
Yeah.
Don't be a hater to yourself.
Don't be a hater.
That's another one on tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
that's somebody else's job. Let somebody else hate on you.
Right. Don't do that to you.
Don't do that.
Wow. Somebody need to tweet that. When you tweet that, make sure to give her credit though. Tweet that. Go home with that. That's a word for tonight. But thank you so much for checking in. You know, y'all, we do this every Wednesday, y'all. We spotlight Black woman-owned businesses. You know, I just posted the one that we did from last week. Dope episode. I mean, check it out on my feed. You know what I'm saying? It's a young lady called Live and L shop. She does like, just different merch for HBCUs and stuff like that. So check it out every Wednesday. So tag someone that you think should be on this platform that we should spotlight. But I want to thank you, Jazz, for coming on tonight. The website is on there, jessentialshop.com.
Yes.
Okay. Don't act like you don't know. It's right there. I pinned it right there. Put your orders in. But really, I'm so proud of you, everything that you're doing, and I wish you all the best. Rooting for you always. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, we're looking forward to it. And when the time comes, of course, you know what I'm saying, let us know. Because we want to invest. You know what I'm saying? We want to invest in that. They're saying, like, be a part of what God is doing through you. So it's really amazing seeing you. And I say, keep going, keep winning.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Nah, anytime, man, anytime.
Yes.
All right, have a good night, all right?
Thank you.